Hey, welcome to Individual Perspective Podcast. This is breaking news. We have a situation in West Bloomfield, Michigan, and it's an active shooter. So we're trying to come in and talk to you guys. The reason why I think this is vitally important is because they haven't really brought any bodies out. So that's, even rushing people to the hospital or anything like that. I don't know what's going on. And that's why I put my disclaimer on. I would have came straight in, but I put my disclaimer on because we don't know what's going on, okay? We don't know what's going on. All I am is here to try to give you guys an update to what's going on. It's breaking news, you know what I mean? We're trying to get some information. This is all what you can kind of see that's going on. I'm just telling you guys, EMS trucks came in. There's a smoke it's a Jewish temple, and they got smoke coming out of the building, and a bunch of EMS trucks came there, but none of them are leaving. That's not good. And then they said there was an active shooter. So I just want you guys to have a objective analysis to this, and me come in and try to navigate you guys through this as best I can in objectivity and stuff like that, okay? So we can listen in and see what they're saying so far. See what's going on. So I'm gonna. Okay, so let me cut on the sound, y'all.
Very sinister here. What are your thoughts and feelings?
Well, I'm just looking at all of the fire trucks and police trucks and the FBI, and it's just such a surreal thing to think that so much love and passion and community happens in this beautiful, beautiful temple. And I don't just mean physically beautiful, I mean spiritually beautiful rabbis and clergy and camp and staff who care so much about one another and about the world at large.
Carolyn,
and I just can't believe what I'm looking at.
It is hard to believe as we all live through this together. I do want to ask, we're getting a report that parents are trying to get to this scene. Is there a school in this facility? Would there be kids in the facility on a Thursday afternoon that you may know of any function that would happen at the synagogue? And I know I'm putting you on the spot, but you are closer to the synagogue than I am and closer to that area. But I don't know if there is a school on that property, a daycare on that property inside of there as well?
Well, there is a preschool. And again, I don't know the hours of that preschool, but I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Carolyn,
if I could jump in, because this is something that I was kind of digging into, because I think that this is a massive part of this story. Yes, as far as what their website shows, there is childcare happening right now. They have a childcare program, an early childhood program, and a kindergarten program. There are two different times. One of them goes from 9 a.m. till noon. That would have ended maybe slightly before the incident. But there's another one that goes from 9 a.m. till 2:30 p.m. So 2:30 in the afternoon. That is a Monday through Friday program for an early childhood center for childcare. And I imagine that some of those reports that we are getting right now of parents rushing to the scene are probably parents of those kids that are still there in that program.
So I'm sure, and can you only imagine the fear that those parents are feeling right now? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's not good, y'all.
Okay, Carolyn, we're going to say...
I want you guys to understand this is not good, because even when they did an aerial shot of the actual school and everything, you could see that the school where the kids' playground is, that's where the smoke was coming out of. So I guess they letting them come in to get their kids, because if that was a crime scene, they would not let them go in. You get what I'm saying? They wouldn't let them pick their kids up or anything. Not in the same building and stuff. They would evacuate all the kids to another area. So maybe it's not as bad. Maybe it's not as bad as everybody as it look, you know. They said active shooter. They said it's like smoking from the top of the building. There's a bunch of EMS trucks came there, but they didn't exit. They didn't leave to go anywhere, like to a hospital, taking people to the hospital. So the good part about this is it might be everybody was just out of control, just been over exuberant, and maybe there's no deaths and everything. They would not let parents come into the school to come pick their kids up if there was a crime scene. It was an active shooter that shot people, or it's an explosion that killed people or something like that. They wouldn't like allow parents and stuff. So this is good news, y'all. I'm thinking from my perspective on it, watching the cops, watching how they move, in addition to just they not on guard, in addition to they're not like really it's parents going into the school. Like a bunch of parents walked into the school to pick up their kids, and the cops patted them down and let them into the building. If that was a crime scene, if it was like remains and stuff like that, if it was a crime scene, they would not have allowed them to be in that building like that. They wouldn't allow for them to go into the door. Like, there's cameras all over the place. See this mother? She's running going to the school. They're allowing her to go into the school. That if that was a crime scene, if it was evidence, if it was even like bodies and stuff and everything. I'm trying to be grotesque about this or wild about it or shameless about it or be vulgar about it. I want to paint a picture to you guys what you most likely gonna see the outcome of. And the outcome is they would not let people come in nowhere near the building. You would not have parents going in. They pat down parents. They checking their purses and stuff just to make sure that they secure a person to come into the zone. They would not allow parents to come into a crime scene. They wouldn't. You got too many people there. FBI, you got a lot of different people there. Sheriff department, all that stuff. They would not be letting innocent people come in there like that. You know what I mean? So that means that this is the good part about it is it's not a massive. I don't think you're going to see deaths or anything. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what happened here. I can't see that there be dead bodies or wounded people or something like that. The EMS trucks came. I didn't see a lot of EMS trucks leaving. You will see people kind of getting evacuated. You would not let new incoming parents come and grab their kids inside. It'll mess up the flow of traffic. You wouldn't know what you're seeing and who to trust and anything. So that they're allowing them to come into the building. The cops are leaving. They don't seem like it's a tragic situation. So I don't know what happened. Maybe some knucklehead did something. I don't know. But it's very contained. It's very contained. Whatever's going on is contained. But let's listen to the news.
Rear in this are there any things that we can look for that would be good signs, that would be silver linings, or things that you would see that would say this is moving in the right direction?
They're leaving.
Well,
they're leaving with no
silver lining,
and there are not no scrolls on the car.
Much activity with regards to ambulances.
Yep.
That is an indication there's little or no wounded.
Right.
Which is a huge positive.
Yeah.
The building can be replaced. The lives cannot. Mm-hmm. And so if everybody is getting out of there safely, in my mind, we won.
Yeah, Mike, real quickly, before I ask you my next question, we did see some police presence from Oakland County. It looked like Sheriff Michael Bouchard walking through the parking lot is who we saw. And so when all these different agencies from federal to state to local come together with the security that's already on staff and in the building, how do they all come together to secure a situation like this, Mike? Maybe you can give us an idea of what the protocol.
Yeah, it's all going to come out to what I said. I'm looking at the cops, they posture, they body. That's why I always tell people, like, you just can't be living life and not know perception-wise or preemptively what's going on, what you're looking at. And if you're a happy wanderer in this life where these actions, these physicalities that's going on with the cops and the EMS and all that stuff like that, and protocols to containment and structure and all that stuff, that it preemptively, any knowledge that I have is an average knowledge. Is typical. So if you were watching this, you would see most likely it's a high probability that there's no wounded, there's no deaths, there's no mass bad stuff going on. It's everybody's good and they just overdoing it. You know what I mean? You know, playing it up. They need to go in there, get their kids, and take them home and stuff like that, and quit trying to be charitable to each other outside. But they might about to get some information about Field Reporter.
Yeah, Mario, we just got here, and I'm hoping to get a little bit closer after this next live shot. But let me tell you what we can see. I'm zooming over right now, Brian Paninsky, to see this is right here, all of the police you see. We have been hearing sirens and seeing cars the whole way. We were coming here from Detroit. This is as close as we can get right now, but I think that once we get done with you, we can get closer on foot. But I wanted to show you this right now, what it looks like. Police still arriving. Obviously a very active situation. I do not know how many people have been hit, if any, but we know that this is an active police situation right now. I see Waterford police. There are literally police from all over here. More showing up right now as we speak.
And this is live, y'all.
I think that we may have lost our signal, but I don't know if you can still hear me. I just want to tell you that that's what's going on. But we want to tell you that we've got crews all over the area.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm thinking I'm right on this one. This will be very, like, rookie and bad if they allow parents to come in to grab their kids and stuff like that, and all that, people going into the building and stuff, all if like coming to active crime scene area, because even the entrance of the area, you got to track whoever came into the building to do something. They might have left evidence on their way in, so you want to kind of make sure that when you're evacuating the kids and all the other stuff, you evacuate them to a safe zone. You get what I'm saying? That they're not doing that, and they're allowing the parents to come into the school. All the EMS trucks, they came there, but they waited. They didn't. It wasn't no emergency that they had to evacuate patients and hurry up and get them to the EMS. They waited till everything was clear. All the parents came in, started picking up their kids, and then the EMS left slowly and orderly. They even the drivers didn't look like they was in no rush. They looked like it was frantic and about like getting somebody to a rush to a situation. It didn't seem like they've been doing aerial shots and everything. They haven't been taking out no gurneys or anything like that. So I could confidently tell you, I haven't really listened to them because I don't like anchors. I don't like the news because I think they felt us. They got so much biases, so much ideological point of views, illogical point of view, liberalism, conservatism, all of them. And they never really give you just the facts, the clean facts, and common sense communication. It's always painted to how I want you to feel. You know what I mean? So I'll listen to what they say, but I think everything is good.
Particularly with the current known threats by extremists who are unhappy about what is happening in Iran right now, and the fact that it is a Jewish synagogue, and the known threat between Islamic extremism, and those synagogues are something that clearly law enforcement is not taking lightly at all. And anytime there's an active shooter, you're going to see this sort of reaction.
Now, there is a huge presence of multi-agencies here. Maybe you can walk us through
and
who has...
And all that means is that I'm sorry for stopping it. I just want to mute it. See how it's still smoking? Whatever's going on in there is still going on in there. Or I don't know if that was an earlier shot or is that the current shot. You know what I mean? So, EMS, ambulance supposed to be in there, you know. I don't know why an EMS truck will be going in there. They need to stay focused. So what's the Okay, I see fire department going in there to try to get that fire out, but they don't seem like they're in a rush or anything. And they're going back up to the school with another EMS truck. I don't understand that. You know, the fire truck just went somewhere else. Somebody should be putting out that fire if the fire's still going. Maybe they already put it out. But I don't know. I have no idea this you know, everybody's so not, you got cops leaving now, so that lets you know that it's the what was perceived to have happened is not the end results, because now you're seeing cops kind of evacuating, going back to their districts and everything like that, going back to the beat. You see them leaving. If it was a crime scene, if it was active shooter, if it was bodies or wounded, they wouldn't be leaving. They would be kind of all stunned and trying to collect themselves on what happened. So the good part about this is that you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna see any wounded. I don't think you're gonna see any deaths or anything like that. But I'm a listen to what Fox News has to say. Fox 2 News has to say.
Who is there or why, we just don't know enough, is to protect lives and to safeguard those who could be innocents caught in the crossfire of an active shooter.
Eric, this is Marielle Liu here. I did want to read to you this statement coming in from Kash Patel via FBI Detroit. It says, FBI personnel are on the scene with partners in Michigan and responding to the apparent vehicle ramming and active shooter situation out of a Temple Israel synagogue in West Bloomfield Township. Earlier today, while we were watching this unfold, I did mention because of the different elements between fire in the building, word of a car ramming into the building, and then an active shooter, that certainly looked more like a coordinated attack. Can you speak from your perspective now, knowing that there is a vehicle rammed into the building and an active shooter situation, what that might indicate for what type of attack we're looking at here?
Well, certainly, you know, I would suggest or suspect that it is, you know, in this being treated as an act of terrorism, especially if the FBI are immediately involved. It certainly seems to have a lot of the hallmarks. The vehicle rammed into the building provides a point of entry, and then you have an active shooter. I can't tell you, and I'm not sure if the reporting has suggested that shots are still being fired or if the shooter has been neutralized. But the fact
all those cops and the cops are leaving. Ain't no way it's active shooter.
That means that they're giving all
ain't no way it's active shooter
enforcement that they would require in order to handle this as quickly and as safely as possible.
Eric, the fact that we've gotten confirmation from the director of the FBI, Kash Patel, the fact that there are this many law enforcement officers on scene, the fact that the FBI is involved at all, in your professional opinion, would you say that this is not a coincidence that the largest Reform synagogue in North America, in one of the greatest Jewish population cities in the state of Michigan, would you, I don't want to make a connection, but would you say that that's not a coincidence?
I don't believe in coincidences. If you look at what's happening in the world, we know from different reports from the FBI and other intel agencies that Iranian extremists are active in the U.S. Now, this is everything from potential threats to citizens to cyber attacks. And there have been, a number of different statements from the FBI and others to take caution and make preparations. There has been a rise in violent extremism here in the U.S. for some years, and often what these either lone wolf individuals who are activated themselves or by extremist cells, all they need is a triggering event, and the war or the military action in Iran is certainly one of those triggering events that could cause individuals who are sympathetic or active extremist cells to start to take action. And we know that Iran wants to hurt us, and there are only really two ways they can do it. These sort of things here in the U.S. And cyber attacks, which they're very capable of doing as well.
Eric, I want to hang on that point. You said something that a lot of people are feeling and perhaps doesn't get enough conversation where there needs to be. You talked about the rise in violence here in the U.S. From your perspective, can you go deeper and just explain how has that change affected your line of work? What do you see? I mean, it's not just fear of Iran and what's happening. There's been a rise in white supremacy as well here in the U.S. So when it comes to counterterrorism,
a rise in white supremacy, that's just crazy.
There are so many different elements now, it seems, you have to look at. It's not necessarily just attacks from other countries. It's right here at home.
Wow.
And the biggest concern is not a group of Iranians who snuck in. That is a concern that somehow moved through our border and are operating as terrorist cells here in the United States. It's actually homegrown terrorists that are a bigger concern. People who can be radicalized online.
That's wow. Mario, you're a racist, man. You get what I'm saying? You act like you not, but you are.
Completely subscribed.
You are. You straight up. I'm a straight out and say it. I don't care. I might get flagged on this. Like, you're a racist. You know it. You know it. Your problem ain't a bunch of Ku Klux Klan members. That ain't your problem. And Ku Klux Klan members are fighting other liberal white people. Okay, if you see why any white supremacist stuff is white supremacist people being white, like being anti-liberal, and they kind of going against their own white liberals. Ain't nobody having no major like white supremacist issues. And even if they're a speck of dust in the amount of wild stuff that's going on out there, who you think doing all the anti-Israel stuff? Go look that up. Who you think doing all that? You get what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. It's like white supremacists is not the issue. The issue is stupid rhetoric. It's politics. It's people trying to, like anything Trump, people want to be in opposition of it. And it so happened to be that Trump does a lot, and he favors a lot for Jewish people in the state of Israel, and anything that he does, he has a huge opposition to. The Epstein files. What do you think that stuff about? It's not about like pedophiles or underage girls, anything like that. The major movement for that is to be anti-Israel, anti-Mossad. You get what I'm saying? And they want to tie Trump to being now he was a Russian puppet, now he's an Israel puppet. You get what I'm saying? You got it totally wrong, and for you to say that, you got no empathy, you got no compassion for white people that have nothing to do with slavery, have nothing to do with racism. They not in your way, they stand away. They not putting themselves in no situation to be in a situation where they get analyzed to being white privilege or some other stuff like that. But you got an anchor here that just bloviate like that, say all kind of wild stuff. And nobody is going to counteract her on this stuff.
What can activate someone is that narcissism and hubris, that pride, that want to be famous. We see that a lot in the people, the unhinged people who go on shooting sprees in schools. They want to be known. They leave manifestos. One of the strong.
And the reason why I'm cussing them out is because they so damn stupid. Look at your it's common sense. Common sense. They let a lot of parents come into that building. Now, there's two things that's going on here. Like I think all of them is. I think what we've let happen to our society over the last 12 to 15 years has taken credibility from everybody. Law enforcement, government, and individuals. So we all are like a powder keg. Because logically, it's a bunch of incompetency going on. It's a bunch of incompetent stuff going on. But logically, you could say like, okay, it's either they so sloppy and they just so inept that they just allowing parents to come into a crime scene that's got bodies, got death, got evidence and all kind of stuff. Even if it's just to pick up their kids and to get the kids that's in there out of there. They don't have a good protocol to manage that even after the cops get there. All those police officers and nobody said, hey, let's move them to a neutral ground. They all let them track into the evidence of the school. In addition, you have a crime scene there, and it's so if it's a crime scene, it's just complete incompetence on how to manage that crime scene, how to manage what's popping off there. Or there's no danger. There's no loss of life. You don't see parents coming out crying. You don't see none of that. You don't see any of that stuff. But now you got a bunch of like news anchors bloviating and saying some of the most racist stuff. But nobody gonna label them a racist because it's all normal. It's normal to just throw white people as all. It's a lot of white supremacist racist groups going on. What, you crazy? it's wow. Who do you think watch Fox 2 News the most? Black people or white people in Detroit and Michigan, surrounding areas? It's ridiculous.
Been made aware of this. Everyone's on high alert. I mean, the war in Iran has got everyone on high alert. And now, and again, we don't know this individual. He had mental issues, he or she had mental issues who did this, but they definitely were trying to get mass destruction and mass casualties.
Steve, I want you to hear this information just coming into our newsroom and get your perspective as the former assistant chief. Car crash into the building. This information, by the way, coming from Temple's Communications. Car crash into the building. Police shot driver. It's unclear the driver's condition right now. Car caught on fire, which is why the fire trucks are there. All kids have been evacuated and are at Shenandoah.
Okay, he's been shot. Is he in custody?
That information we don't have yet, right?
Exactly. We don't have that yet. Was there only one suspect? This is very similar to what happened in Grand Blanc.
So stupid. Hey, the idiot came in there, tried to ram in there. Obviously, they had police on staff or at the entrance levels and all on the secure points and stuff. They shot him, wounded him, put him in a situation or probably killed him where he's not an issue, just got a dead suspect. All the kids were secured, safely evacuated. That's your issue overall. Now, I'm willing to stop this stream and let that hang. Let that prediction hang to see if I'm right. I'm willing to do that.
Didn't someone drive to the front door? Yep.
So stupid.
That the kids and the teachers are safe. There was a message sent to the community members confirming that all of the kids and the teachers that were in the early childhood center are safe and accounted for.
And that's good news from the physical aspect.
Absolutely it is.
What's this going to do with these kids psychologically, mentally? I mean, these kids are little. It's ridiculous that we have to have these drills for these little kids, to run and hide, run and hide. And the parents.
You can see the postures on the cops and all that stuff. It's a safe situation. Even if the suspect is dead, it's a safe situation. Okay? Maybe I'll come back in and update from whatever they doing. I'm not going to kind of keep talking to you guys and saying redundant things like the dumb news anchors and stuff is saying and everything like that, and keep repetitiously communicating about oh, the kids are safe, the teachers are safe, only person that might be hurt or dead is the suspect that rammed their car in, and a school cop took them down. Okay, that's what it is. I don't need to watch every single police car go back to their patrol and all the other stuff like that. It seems like we good and we're safe here. We don't got any issue there. It's like I said, when I'm watching them allow parents to come into the school and they patting them down and checking their purse and all that stuff, it let me know that it was a safe zone, safe situation. Fire department is putting out the fire where the car crashed and start burning up or whatever they doing. And then whatever damage was going on with the school or something like that, fire department is taking care of that. Everything is pretty good, and it's in a more happy situation that we don't got a bunch of dead young kids and stuff like that, or teachers and stuff like that. We got a suspect, some radical person that was met with force. Force met with force. How do you stop force? With reinforcement, with overwhelming force. Don't cower. Anything that happens to you in your life, you counteract it with an overabundance of what was given, was put on you. If people want you to be poor and destitute and weak, you counteract to make everybody, your opposition, weak and docile. You don't do that. You be a relentless. You be the overwhelming of what's coming at you. You give it back to them overwhelmingly. So that a school patrol officer was at the school and met the force that needed to be met with overwhelming force because they playing games. They wish that they could do something. The cop is willing to execute on what he knows he must execute to bring down to keep the situation at the least minimum impact as possible. So this is a good situation. I'm glad to know that that cop was there. The kids are safe, and this is a situation that's on the suspects and a negative point to the suspect. I'm allowing it to play just a little bit, and then I'm gonna exit out, guys. My name is Daris D. McKinney. This Individual Perspective Podcast. Please hit the like, subscribe, and share. Please hit the like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell. And I'm going to end this out. We got pretty much the information that we need to know. And everybody else is just spectators and everything like that to what happened. This Individual Perspective Podcast. I hope to see you guys again. I'm going to try to come back on. I got so much work to do. I just came from a job that kind of ended up being a longer job than it was supposed to be. And in addition to that, I'm actually got to do some work on the computer. I got to talk to my distribution to see the release times on my films and all that stuff. It's just a lot of stuff I'm doing. But look, guys, we are grateful that these people are safe. No more crazy stuff and the radicalness of people, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on in politics and government and sociology. It's because we have let things get out of hand for the last 40 to 50 years. We let it get out of hand. So a lot of people that are active trying to bring some sense to things are in opposition to everybody, because everybody don't want to change the degenerate, the devaluing, and the destructive nature of our society right now. But I'll leave that for another episode. My name is Daris D. McKinney. This is Individual Perspective Podcast. You don't need to hear no pondering from no crappy Fox News local news people and stuff. And look, I watch it every day. I watch it every day. I mean, I'm forced to watch it every morning. Otherwise, I would have watched none of this stuff, not even Fox News. You get what I'm saying? But look, I'm sorry for Randy. I really am. You go to your local news. I just told you everything you're pretty much going to need to know, and it's going to pour out to be what's going on. If something pop off that I'm wrong about, I'll come right back in and show my shame, okay? My name is Daris D. McKinney. This is Individual Perspective Podcast, and I'll see you guys soon.